Mitch. How are you?
I'm too blessed to be stressed. How about you, Dave?
Just the same, sir. How can I help?
Unique question for you. I know you kind of joke about at least being married a year, so you know how close you want to live to your in-laws.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kind of a situation here. My in-laws are wanting to move in with us. He lost his job out of state, and they want to move back in to be closer to the grandkids and stuff. So, kind of, I wanted your opinion on kind of how to keep it separate but equal if they are under, in a sense, my roof. Because it is my in-laws, and I might be a little bit less biased than my wife, or you know what I'm trying to say about how to keep the relationship intact. But at the same time, if they're going to be paying, rent or anything like that,
if they're going to be paying rent, why don't they just go rent?
They went through a bankrupt several years back, and they're not in a place for that, supposedly.
Wait a minute. If they're not in a place to pay someone else rent, how are they in a place to pay you rent?
That's a good question, too, and that's maybe why I'm kind of calling you to get advice of anything maybe in a contract or something. I mean, I hate to do that necessarily with the in-laws, but I don't just kind of want to be
Well, it's not a contract in the sense of I would
time.
sue them over the contract, but what we need is a clear understanding here, and this sounds really vague.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're too broke to pay rent, but they're going to pay you rent. That sounds weird.
Well, they're selling their house right now, and they have about $150,000 in equity from that. So
come to Phoenix, and surely to God, if you have $150,000 in your pocket, you can find something to rent.
I think that is a good point as well. But I guess I've just been kind of proposed that they would like to move in with us temporarily.
Yeah, I just don't think it's and unless there's a compelling reason, I would be hesitant.
Okay.
Because it doesn't usually end well. I mean, there's some circumstances where it works, but I don't get it. I mean, you got $150,000. Now, there's not a lot of $150,000 houses in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a substantially, fairly expensive real estate market. Otherwise, there's just two of them. Maybe they can find a little condo and just pay cash for it.
Yeah, that's also another option.
Yeah, are they not? Has he got a job?
Well, he actually got let go from his prior employer, and so he has another one lined up, downsizing.
Okay, but he does have another one lined up?
He does.
That's good. Okay. So he's going to have a job, and he's got $150,000 in his pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I'm a little confused.
Me too. I mean, that's why I was just wondering if there's something else. I mean...
Well, let's start with the premise that I think you guys are on the wrong track, and I think they need to live somewhere else. They have $150,000. He has a job. Go buy a little condo for cash. Move in it. It's not going to be anything fancy for $150,000 in Phoenix, but it'll be all right. It's a nice place to live. Better than living in your bedroom.
True.
For them, they're going to have more privacy and have a life, and certainly they're welcome to come over and see the grandkids. We'd love to have them do that. Matter of fact, we let them babysit occasionally. I'll be babysitting next week for a couple of mine. I'm looking forward to it. Grandparents like to do that kind of stuff. But that's a lot different than them living with you for no apparent reason. I've really got to dig into this if I'm you. You and your wife need to start having some clear conversations about why we're doing this, other than they're just too cheap to go get a hotel till they find a place to live. When does he start work?
They close on the other house here at the end of the month, and so we're looking at, it wouldn't be till August time frame of when they're actually down here in Arizona again.
Okay, so they close on the house where they're currently living at the end of the month.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fine. And that's when he starts his new job and everything. Okay. I don't, you guys dig into it. Maybe you find a compelling reason. Let's say that something's going on that you and I are not aware of in this conversation, and they do want to move in. Then what you want is a very clear understanding of, the amount of rent, and it can just be a written letter. I mean, you can just type out a letter on the computer, okay? Bullet points, and we both sign it, okay? But here's the big thing. I want your exit strategy. Under what circumstances and when are they leaving?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, this is done in perpetuation forever, which I don't think is your plan.
I don't think it's theirs either. I mean, they're wanting to, get on their feet until they, know the area a little bit better. I don't know.
Well, if you want to let them live there 3 months or something while they do that, that starts to make a little bit more sense.
Okay.
But, I don't even charge them rent then. They're just staying with you a little while and, and then they're going to go get a place. But this is for 3 months. And then you look up at the end of 3 months and they're still sitting there. You're going, I'm sorry, what are you people doing here? I wouldn't do that exactly. But you see what I'm saying? Listen, if they say we're going to stay a little while and you say, okay, a little while is okay, but you find out a little while to them is 2 years and a little while to you is 2 months.
Yeah.
That's why you need to write it down. Okay. What is the date that you're planning on leaving? And if we decide, you and I sitting down together to decide to change that date, we can change it, but at least we've got agreement coming in. If it's just for a couple months, just let them live there. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're just helping them make the transition and learn the market and go out and look for something. They're not in such a hurry to pick out something and that kind of thing. But I got to tell you, man, if I was moving to an area where my parents lived or Sharon's parents lived, we would just rent something until we found a house. We wouldn't be moving. It's just different, I mean, there's something else going on in this conversation that you don't know and I don't know that's the magnetic draw here, and it just unusual. So, but if you want to, if it's just for a couple months or something, that's fine. But if they're talking about living there a year, they need to go rent something, or they need to just take their $150,000 and go find something and buy it. They've got the money. And goodness gracious, they got the money. I don't care if there's a bankruptcy a couple years ago. They're in good shape. Hey, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you joining us.
Hey, you guys. Rachel Cruz here. Hope you're enjoying the Dave Ramsey Show. And did you know that I have my very own YouTube channel? Yes, that's right. It's kind of better than the Dave Ramsey channel. Don't tell them I said that. I'm kidding. So subscribe. And there's lots of videos about life and money. So while you're at it, if you want to check out a video, then you can check out how to do a monthly budget. It's one of the best videos out there.